Okay, good morning everyone. Welcome to your Saturday morning flow. We're going to get started in just a couple seconds here. Today you might want your blocks, you might want a strap, maybe a bolster if you like to be comfortable. Other than that, just some water, yourself and your mat, and then we'll get started. So find your way onto your mat. We're going to get started on our backs today. So just find yourself in a comfortable position. I like using my bolster here just to prop my knees just a little bit and protect my lower back. If you have any kind of lower back discomfort, the bolsters can help to relieve that and take the pressure off. I know for myself, when I have my legs straight, it's pretty uncomfortable. So make yourself comfortable. If you don't have a bolster, you can absolutely prop your knees with cushions. And just finding your way, like I said, into a comfortable position on your back. Just focusing here on your breath, breathing in and breathing out. Just feeling that gentle rise and fall of the belly. Taking a few moments here to leave any stress, any anxiety behind. And finding ourselves in the moment right now. Taking some time for yourself, some self-care. Just focusing on your breath, letting it all go. Inhale, breathing in. And on the exhale, just sighing it all away. Just allowing your body to melt into the mat. And breathing in. And sigh it all the way. One more time, breathing in. And sigh it all out. We're back to a natural breath here. Just taking a moment to set an intention for your practice today. Just repeating the intention to yourself just a few times here. Letting it sink in. Dudley's joining us today. I don't know if he'll do much yoga. But he's good company. And when you're ready here, just start bringing some movement into the fingers and the toes. Maybe shaking your head from side to side, just letting it rock and fall right to left. Rolling out the wrists and the ankles. And if you have your bolster, just taking it out and setting it aside. As we extend the legs and arms out, as long and tall as we can, breathing in. And on the exhale, just melting into the mat. Inhale for the reach. Reaching as long and as far as we can. And as we exhale, we melt into the mat. One more time, reaching. Getting as tall as we possibly can. Reaching for opposite ends of the room. And exhale. Just letting it all go, melting into the mat. Your next inhale, drawing the knees into the chest. Just going to rock it out here, massaging out that lower back before we get started. And on your next inhale, sending the feet up toward the sky, dropping the palms down beside you, and lowering the right leg down to the mat to a hover. Point the toes at the bottom and draw it back up. The left side, lower down. Just do a hover and point the toes and draw it back up. Right side, lower to a hover. Point the toes and draw it back up. Flex the foot, drop the left foot down. Point at the bottom and draw it back up. Right side. And up. Left side. Point the toes and back up. Good. Right side. Point the toes, draw it back up. And left side. Point the toes and back up. Good. If you want to support your back just a little bit by tucking the hands under the hips, you can here. We're going to lower both feet down at the same time. And hover at the bottom, point the toes, and draw the feet back up. And lower. Point the toes, and up. That's 2. We're going to go for 10. Lower down for 3. Point the toes. Good. And lower for 4. Nice, slow, and controlled movements here. Down for 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Starting to get the shakes. And drawing it back up. And 10. Last one. Draw it down. Hover at the bottom. We're going to go into a scissor. Sideways scissor or flutter, what do you want to call it? Keeping in that hover. My toes keep cramping. Good. And flutter. Kick the feet. Point the toes. Keeping that core nice and strong. And draw the knees in. Rock it out. Massage out that lower back. Take a couple breaths here. Maybe doing some semicircles. And the other way. Good, and drop the feet down. Drawing the heels in as close to the butt as you can. And we're going to press through the heels and send the hips up. Holding at the top here, squeezing through the glutes. Drawing the navel in toward the spine. And lower down. Inhale, sending the hips back up. You can interlace the fingers, draw the shoulders under the back if you like here. Sending the hips just a little bit higher. Again, drawing that navel in toward the spine as you send the hips toward the sky, pressing through the heels. Your knees should not be splaying out to the side. You want to make sure you're keeping them in. You can place a block between the knees to encourage the legs to stay closer together. We'll releasing the fingers, unrolling the shoulder blades, and lowering down one vertebrae at a time. Good. On your next inhale, reaching the hips back up to the sky, interlace the fingers, rolling the shoulder blades under the back, and sending the hips just a little bit higher again. Draw that navel in toward the spine, activating that core, and pressing through the heels here. Release the fingers, unrolling the shoulders and lowering down one vertebrae at a time. Good. Inhale, reach the right foot up. We're going to press through that left heel. Send the hips up and down for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Drop that right foot down. Send the left foot up and the lift for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Lower down. We're going to send the hips up both at the same time. Send that right foot out in front. Open up to the side. Back to center and down. And drop the hips. Lift again. Right foot out. Open to the side. Back to center. Down. And drop the hips. Again. That's 3. Out. Down. Up for 4. And 5. Drop the hips. We're going to move to that left side. Lifting the hips up, left foot out, open to the side, back to center, foot down, thumb down. Good. Up for 2. 3. 4. And last one, 5. Leg out, back in, down, and drop the hips. Draw the knees into the chest and rock it out. Just working on a little bit of hip mobility there. From here, we're going to just rock and roll our way up to a seated position. Just rolling a couple times, massaging up the spine, and then catching yourself at the top in your boat pose. And just holding it here for a couple seconds. Good. Drawing the right knee into the chest, the left leg out, and switch. Left knee in, right leg out. Switch, switch, right and left, right and left, and right, left, right, left, right, and left. Both knees in. We're going to lower down to a hover and bring it back up and lower down and up and lower and up, lower and up, lower down and up. That's 6 and up, 7 and up, 8, 2 more, 9 and 10. Hold and hover and lower all the way down. Drawing the knees in, massage it all out. I'm going to come into some gentle twists here. Dropping the knees over to the right side. Left arm extends out and you can look toward left fingertips. Come back to center, drawing the knees back up, and then over to the left side, just letting them fall. Sending that right arm out to the side, and looking over your right fingertips. Nobody wants to see you licking or chewing. Come on, stop. 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 Yeah, you're supposed to. Drawing your knees back to center. We're just going to rock our way up to seated. Coming into a cross-legged position at the front of the mat. We're going to place the left hand behind us and place the right hand on the outside of the left knee. And just gently twist open to the left side. Releasing the right hand from the left knee. We're going to place the right hand behind us, the left hand outside the right knee, twisting up into the right side. And release, coming back to center. We're just going to do a few little neck rolls here, dropping the chin to the chest, stretching out the back of the neck. Letting the left ear fall toward the left shoulder. Stretching out that right side. You can use your hand just to place just a little bit of pressure. You're just using body weight here. Encouraging just a little bit deeper of a stretch. Making sure not to pull on the head. Just using the weight of the hand to let the head fall just a little bit more. Releasing the head, letting the head fall back to center, and then across to that right side. Again, using the hand on the head just to create just a little bit more of a stretch. Just making sure not to pull. Side's much tighter for me. You might notice on different sides of the body feel differently, depending on where you carry your tension. For me, it's always on the left side of my neck. And the stretch always feels so good. Release the hand. Sending the legs out behind, just swinging them around and coming into a tabletop position. From here, we're just going to come into a few cat-cow stretches, arching back up on our inhale, and lower the belly, exhale for cat, or cow, sorry. Inhale for cat, and exhale for cow. Inhale for cat, exhale for cow. And just moving in your own breath here, just warming up the spine, getting it ready to work. Rolling through the body. Bringing in that movement. Coming back to a neutral spine here, we're going to take the right hand, send it through that left gap, and drop the shoulder down to the mat, and the head as well, or thread the needle. You can find your bind here if you like, if it's accessible. Your left hand over your right thigh. Placing the left hand back down, pressing back up to your tabletop, then sending the left arm through that gap on the right. Lower the shoulder and head down to the mat, and finding your bind with your right hand. And let's release that right hand, plant it down on the mat, pressing back up to your tabletop, curling the toes under if they're not already, sending the hips up and back for your first downward facing dog. Taking a moment here to pedal through the heels, releasing the calves, waking up the legs. And just coming into our downward facing dog, setting the heels toward the mat, pressing forward through the hands. Making that nice L shape with the thumb and index finger, spreading the rest of the fingers nice and wide, nice and far apart. And then we're going to walk the feet between the hands. Then fully down, and the chest down to the thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower it down. Bending the knees a lot. And then we're going to reach the arms up, overhead, and draw the hands down through heart center. And alongside the body, standing nice and tall here in Tadasana, mountain pose. Lifting the kneecaps, activating those quads, sending the shoulder blades down the back. Head nice, tall, and straight. Should have a nice straight line here through the spine. Full body activation here. We're going to come into the first of our sun salutations. We're going to reach the arms up overhead. And swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding it down. Send the feet back to the back of the mat. Coming forward on the toes, lowering down for chaturanga. You can come down to your knees if you need to. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, pressing back through the heels, back into our downward facing dog. Lift that right leg up, bend through the knee, draw it through, plant the left foot down, 45-degree angle, warrior one. Lower the hands down, send the right foot back to meet the right, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, rough leg up, drawing it in through the hands. Plant that right foot down, 45-degree angle, warrior one. Exhale, lowering down. Send the left foot back to meet the right. Coming forward on the toes, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hopper step to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding down. Inhale as we reach the arms up overhead. Coming into a gentle back bend here. And coming forward. Bringing the hands through heart center and down alongside body. Okay, we're going to do that again. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, drop the hands, step it back. High plank, coming forward on the toes, lowering down, chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale it, right leg up, drawing it through. Drop the back heel, warrior one. Lowering the hands down, right foot goes back to meet the left, and lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up and drawing it through. Plant the right foot down, warrior one. Lower the hands down, the left foot goes back, coming forward and lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hopper step to the front of the mat. And halfway lift. And lower it down. Inhale, reaching up overhead, coming into that gentle back bend. And come forward, drawing the hands down through heart center. And back alongside the body. Good. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, drop the hands, step it back, high plank, and lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale that right leg up and draw it through. Plant the left foot down, warrior one. Lower the hands down, step it back, and lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up, and draw it through. Pull the right foot goes down, reach up, warrior one. Coming back down, the left foot goes back, and lower down for chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hopper step to the front of the mat. I think I did both legs. I lost track. Halfway lift and lower it down. Inhale all the way up. I think I might have skipped the left leg. And lower it down. And inhale, reach. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, drop the palms, step it back. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg up, and in between the hands, drop the left foot. Reaching up, warrior one. Hands come down, step it back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. The left leg up, and step it between the hands. Inhale, reaching warrior one. Drop it down, step it back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Upward step to the front of the mat. Halfway lift. And lower it down. Reaching up. Finding that gentle bend at the top. And coming forward. Drawing the hands through and alongside the body. We're going to go one more time. Reaching up. And lower down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, drop the hands, step it back. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, the right leg up and through. Drop that left heel, reaching up, warrior one. Drop the hands, send the right foot back. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up, drawing it through. Plant that right foot down, warrior one. Hands come down, left foot goes back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a moment here, just to pedal at the feet. Dropping the knees nice and wide, coming into a child's pose. Just allowing the head to fall to the mat. Then the arms relax in front. Just taking a moment here to reflect. And when you're ready, coming forward into your tabletop, curling the toes back under and pressing back in your downward facing dog. From here, we're going to send the right foot up and drawing it through. Plant the foot, high lunge. We're going to swing the arms back. For that runner's lunge, drawing the chest down toward the thigh, but not resting. Staying active here. We're going to twist. Coming into prayer hands, placing that left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Lose my balance. You can open up here if you like. You can place the hand on the outside of the thigh if it's in your practice, or on the inside. Just reaching toward the ceiling there. Coming back to center, plant that left foot down, 45 degrees, warrior one. Opening up, warrior two. Staying nice and tall here, body stacked over the hips. Drop that left hand, reaching over, reverse warrior. Coming back, warrior two. Straighten through that front leg, send the hips back just a little. Dropping down, triangle. Bending through that front knee. Staying here. As we come back to center, Curling that left foot back onto the toes. You're going to spring forward. Warrior 3. Testing your balance here. And then we're going to drop the hands and the back foot down. Send the right foot back to meet the left. Coming back, downward facing dog. Optional flow here. We're going to come forward, high plank. Coming forward on the toes, lowering down for chaturanga, halfway, and press back up. And lower down halfway, and press back up. And lower, and up, and lower, and up. We're going to strengthen that chest, and those triceps. Lower down, and up. One more time, lower to a hover. And then all the way down. Uncurl the toes. Coming up, upward facing dog. And send the hips back, downward facing dog. Pedal up the feet. Take a moment here to catch your breath. We send the left leg up and bring it through. High lunge. We're going to bring the arms through, coming into a runner's lunge. Bring the chest down toward the thigh. Staying high on the back toes. We're going to drop the right heel. Coming up, warrior 1. Open up, send the back foot out, 90-degree angle. Arms out, warrior 2. Stuck in the body over the hips. Drop the back hand, reverse warrior. Coming forward, warrior 2. Straighten through that front leg, send the hips back, and lower for triangle. Using a block here if you need to. Oh, I forgot the chests. We'll add them in, don't worry. Bending through that front knee. Coming forward, we're going to come onto the back toes. We're going to come into prayer and twist open to that left side. If it's in your practice to go on the outside of the foot, please feel free to go ahead. Otherwise, drop your hand down on the inside and open up to the left. Staring up at your left fingertips here. Drop the left hand down. Send the left foot back to meet the right. Pressing back, downward facing dog. Optional flow, coming forward on the toes, high plank, and lower down, chaturanga, halfway, and up, and down, and up, down, and up, down, and up, and lower, halfway, hover, hold it, and then lower all the way down. Good, and curl the toes, pressing up, upward facing dog, and sending the hips back, downward facing dog. Good, pedal at the feet here. I'm going to do a little bit of core work here. We're going to come forward, high plank. Actually, no, we're going to stay in our downward dog. Lift that right foot, bring it in, knee to elbow, and back. Good. Knee to right elbow, and back. Elbow, back, elbow, and back. One more time, elbow, setting it back, and then we're going to drop it down to the right wrist, and back. Left wrist, and back. The left elbow, and back. Right elbow, and back. Good. Right wrist, and back. Left wrist, and back. Left elbow, back. Right elbow. Drop it down, right wrist. Cross it to the left wrist, up to the left elbow, back across to the right elbow, and back. We'll do it one more time. Right elbow, right wrist, left elbow, right elbow, and back. Good. Drop the foot down, pedal it out. The left foot comes up, left knee to left elbow, and back. Elbow, back, elbow, and back, elbow, and back, elbow, and back, and the left wrist, and back, right wrist, and back, right elbow, and back, left elbow, and back, left wrist, and back, right wrist, and back, right elbow, and back, left elbow, and back, left wrist, back, right elbow, or wrists are back, right elbow, and back, the left elbow, drop it down, left wrist, right elbow, left elbow, and back. Good. One more time. Left elbow, left wrist, right elbow, left elbow, and back. Good. Pedal it out. And then drop down to the knees, sending the hips back, child's pose. And when you're ready, coming forward to your tabletop, curling your toes back under, and pressing back into your downward facing dog. I'm going to send that right foot up, drawing it in between the hands. I'm going to send it out to the edge of the mat here as I come down for a lizard lunge. If this is enough of a stretch for you, stay here. If you want more of a stretch, you can lower down to your forearms here. Stretching up the hips, working on that mobility. These wonderful hip openers. And coming back up to straight arm, I'm going to send the hips back. Maybe walk your foot back into center here. Coming to a half split. Flexing the toes. When you're ready to release, we're going back, bending through that right knee, reaching back for the left foot, and drawing it in towards your sit bones. Stretching through the left hip flexors. Pressing away from the thigh to increase the stretch. We have this smokeless incense burning right now. It smells amazing. It's the dragon's blood cube from Aroma Fume. It's the little tea light candle that sits under the burner. And then this incense piece sits in a little tray and it burns without smoke and it smells so good. It's so relaxing. Release that left foot. Heel toe the right foot across the mat and lower the knee down for pigeon. If you need here, and I'm probably going to do this today because my hips are a little tight, you can use a block under the hip to keep the body balanced. That's too high, I think, for me though, so I'll just deal with it. You can place a block under the hip if your hips are very tight and you're having a hard time staying centered. Lowering down for your resting pigeon if it's in your practice, resting the head on the back of the hands. Coming up from your pigeon, we're going to swing that right leg back to meet the left, tucking the toes under, setting the hips up to downward facing dog. We'll lift through that left leg and draw it through. Heel toeing just out just a little bit to bring the hands inside the left leg. Staying here if it's in your practice, and if you want a little bit more of a stretch, lowering down to the forearms. Just enjoying this nice deep lizard stretch, stretching out the inside of those hips, releasing any of that tension, just letting it go. If you're on your forearms, coming back to a straight arm, you can send your foot back a little bit to center as we send the hips back and come forward into our half split. And bending back through that front leg. We're going to reach back and grab the right ankle or toes, drawing it in toward the sit bones, using the forearm to press away from that left thigh, just increasing the stretch just a little bit in the right hip flexors. The more you pull your chest away from your thigh, the more intense your stretch will get. Release that back foot. We're going to heel toe the left foot to the right side of the mat. Lowering the left knee down. Coming forward into your pigeon. If you need a block under the hip if you need to help keep yourself more centered over the hips. Lowering down, resting pigeon, resting the head on the hands. If pigeon's too much, you can always take a figure 4 from your back, drawing the knee and hip in. When you're ready to release your pigeon, we're just going to swing the feet around. Just lower down nice and slowly onto our backs here. Just letting the knees rock side to side, just like windshield wipers. Letting them fall to the right. Looking over the left shoulder toward the left fingertips. Drawing the knees back to center, and just allowing them to fall to the left. Sending the right arm out, looking over the left shoulder toward the right fingertip. Drawing the knees back to center, we're going to draw them in toward the armpits. And just rock it out here in Happy Baby before we make our way into our final Shavasana. And gathering anything that you need to be comfortable here. Your final Shavasana. I like my bolster, like I said at the beginning of my practice. I also really enjoy using my bed of nails here with a pillow. The pillow is wonderful because it gets right into the crook of your neck, encouraging that natural bend a lot of us tend to lose sitting at computers all day long. So just letting the head fall over the pillow helps to encourage that natural curve in the spine and bring more comfort in. These mats have more than 10,000 little spikes on them and work very similar to acupuncture, bringing you all those natural benefits from the little needles. I'll share my discount code in my caption if you are interested in trying them out. They're great for stress and anxiety relief, I find. And they just help me really relax into the mat. You'll find that they're a little bit uncomfortable the first couple times you use it, but the more you do, the more comfortable it gets and the more benefits you receive. Also, the longer you stay on the mat, the more benefits as well. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this practice as much as I did. And I thank you so much for keeping me accountable and coming back here to my mat every week and sharing your energy with me. So thank you so much again for joining me here on this beautiful Saturday morning or night or whatever time zone you're in. But I do thank you very much for spending your time with me and coming here and allowing me to guide you through your practice today. Whether you're live or whether you're joining in later on. I appreciate your time. I hope to see you again on Monday for a fun high intensity weight routine. I'll have that all written up and ready to go for you Monday. So thank you so much again for being here with me. I hope to see you again soon. Namaste. Feel free to stay here as long as you need to, just enjoying and reaping the benefits of your final Shavasana.